Yeah, no, it's amazing. You know, once that board is up in the air and then you sort of accelerate, it's you're on another level. It's a great feeling. It's fast. We don't need much wind. It's pretty spectacular.
So I mean, it looks fun. If I was a kid and I saw that, I'd be like, oh, I want to do that.
This is exciting for a lot of young sailors and older guys as well.
But right now, with the Windfoiling, we've got a meeting of the generations of windsurfing. So everybody's stoked, everybody's into it.
It brought together Olympic champions, Emirates Team New Zealand sailors, former world champions, and even some of the country's top dinghy sailors. It also transcended generations, with the oldest sailor in their 50s and the youngest not even a teenager. The 2020 Giltrap Audi Windfoiling National Championships attracted more than 55 windfoilers to the Manly Sailing Club on the Whangaparoa Peninsula for 3 days of exciting racing. And the action was spectacular, even though the winds were mostly on the lighter side. It's fair to say windfoiling has lifted the sport of windsurfing to new heights, both on the water and off it. Windsurfing was not only stagnating in New Zealand, but it was also struggling elsewhere around the world. Now it's the fastest growing Olympic class in the country, as youngsters get caught by the foiling bug, and those who thought they might have put the board away in the attic for good have come back to the sport, like former Olympian and former world #1, JP Tobin.
I was in the coaching going down that road, and I still am, but for some reason I ordered this foil, a couple of years ago now, and I would probably have never windsurfed again. But then jumping back on the foil, something went in my head that I wanted to do this again, all of a sudden. So it's like, it's the same sport, but very different.
Foiling's making everyone young again.
Yeah, and then we're feeling our age.
Chiropractors and physiotherapists are laughing.
Well, that's it. I mean, if you love something enough, you'll find the energy.
One of the things that helped drive the popularity of windfoiling is the fact that it will be on the program for the 2024 Paris Olympics. It will replace the RSX, which has been used as the equipment for windsurfing classes since the 2008 Beijing Olympics. Windfoiling got the nod last year to replace the RSX, and a handful of Kiwis played key roles in convincing world sailing to make the change.
Windfoiling at the Olympics is something going to be very, very special for windsurfing. The sport's evolved. The IQ foil class is now the Olympic class for Paris 2024 and LA 2028. It's inspired the next generation, and that's pretty cool. Windsurfing was starting to get a little bit stale, and we'd seen the class die in New Zealand. Right now we've got new blood, new talent, and it's not just windsurfers, it's attracting sailors from dinghies, from Optimus, from Laser, 49er, and they've taken on this new Olympic class. The growth in the sport locally is fantastic, and the growth around the world is absolutely going off the charts. I suppose what it is 4 to 5 knots upwind is really not acceptable anymore. We're doing speeds of between 15 and 18 knots upwind, and about 12 to 13 knots, 14 knots of wind. Those speeds are phenomenal.
McIntosh was part of a golden generation of New Zealand windsurfers. He won 3 world titles, as well as a bronze medal at the 2000 Sydney Olympics. At the same time as he was competing, Barbara Kendall claimed Olympic gold, silver and bronze among the 5 games that she went to. Her brother Bruce won Olympic gold and bronze in the 1980s, with Tom Ashley, the last of New Zealand's Olympic windsurfing champions, claiming gold in 2008's Beijing Olympics.
It's so exciting to see the development of it and how fast it's growing and how easy it is to do now, actually, compared to when I had a go of it about a year ago. And then I jumped on some kit the other day and was just like, wow, this is like armchair sailing. And it's great to see lots of people doing it, developing really fast though, which is kind of cool as well. At the moment, the club has got a really great program where they're bringing lots of girls and young kids through, and then they all sort of finish sailing the open Vic, which is sort of like an open boat, and they're all going, what can we do next? And now they're seeing all these windsurfers foiling around and blasting around, and a lot of them are going, I want to do that, I want to do that. So I mean, it looks fun. If I was a kid and I saw that, I'd be like, I want to do that.
It's a view shared by two-time Olympic champion Dorian van Lisselberg, who was coached by McIntosh for over a decade, seeing him travel regularly from his home in the Netherlands down to New Zealand, competing and training here before his retirement earlier in the year.
Really fun to see that windsurfing's making a step and getting these new people interested, and even the people that used to windsurf are like, all of a sudden they see these foils out and they're like, that looks easy, that looks simple, that looks like a lot of fun, I gotta get into that. So yeah, it's awesome to see.
Van Lisselberg and fellow Dutchman Kieran Badlow, the current RSX World Champion and also coached by McIntosh, were on hand at the Windfoiling National Championships, and although they didn't compete, they were amongst a good smattering of international competitors, including sailors from Australia, France and New Caledonia.
Here in the Giltrap Audi 2020 Windfoil Nationals, we've got 23 boats in Gold Fleet. Everyone's down on the pin. It's going to be a cluster down there. So 15 seconds to go. We have the Silver Fleet. We've got 20 odd boats in this one. He's in around the mark, then in towards the finish. And Patrick Haybiddle coming in, chasing hard. He's had a nice gust. With Antonio, 2 from 2, mate.
It's a pretty good start. I mean, to be fair, I got pretty lucky in the first one because JP sailed the wrong course and kind of handed it to me.
Mate, the elephant in the room, what the hell happened in the first race?
Oh, I just got confused, mate. There's just too many orange marks for me. I just don't know which one is supposed to go around. I should have gone around them all, and then
so you
maybe would have got one right.
You know, as all the cliched interviews go with sailors, it was very shifty and very patchy, and you just had to stay in the pressure. We need to find new ways of answering interview questions like that.
The standard's pretty high, and everyone's mixing up. One little mistake, and you're out the back door, as we've seen.
Simple as that, and all these young guys coming through, eh? So it's yeah, we're all keeping each other on our toes. Yeah.
All right, mate. Good luck in the next one, and just remember, go around that final mark into the finish, and you might get another result.
All the orange.
Good on you, Val.
Thanks, mate.
We've got our long distance race. We've got the whole fleet, all 46 boats. Windfoil is about to line up and have a massive drag race. And we are off. Half the fleet's foiling, half not. Maxi Iceman is in third after a pretty good start. So after about 35 minutes of foiling and non-foiling and pumping and everything in between, Antonio Cozzolino goes over the finish line, number 1. Well, that wraps up day 1 here in Manly, New Zealand for the Giltrap Audi 2020 Windfoil Championships. After today's results, we have Antonio Cozzolino. Had a great day. He's had a 1-1, 3-2-1 to be leading by 3 points from JP Tobin. So that's very tight at the top. We have Julian in third. We have Max van der Zalm in fourth and Lloyd Pratt in fifth. So that's the top 5 in gold. Still lots to play for and very, very tight in the points. In the silver fleet, we have 20 odd boats in that too. And we have Tim Wood, the old man, old rigor mortis, as we call him here in the windfoiling world. He's leading it by 1 point by Gary Hill, with Andrew Stratton in third and Verl, our first female competitor, in fourth.
A foiling revolution is happening in sailing, not just windsurfing. From the America's Cup through to the Sail GP, right down to your weekend warriors. It's everywhere. It's also taking hold in the Olympic classes. It started with the Nacra 17, which will again be the boat used for the catamaran class at the Tokyo Olympics, and it will progress even further at Paris's 2024 Olympics, where along with windfoiling, kitefoiling will also make its Olympic debut.
The whole thing's pretty cool. I think the windfoilers and the kitefoilers are just awesome. The future's really exciting, actually. This is exciting for a lot of young sailors and older guys as well.
Thanks, Russell.
It's not about age anymore. It's just anyone can get up on a foil and then go and have a crack.
Well, that's just it. Right now with the windfoiling, we've got a meeting of the generations of windsurfing. So everybody's stoked, everybody's into it, everybody wants to go racing. That's great. We've also got the meeting of the classes. So you got Glenn Ashby's shooting around. Glenn's loves foiling, loves going fast, and he's looking at windfoiling and going, that's me. He wants to have a go, have a crack. Ray Davies is interested, Mike Sanderson's interested, and with these people attracting to the class, it really shows that we've got something pretty special. We can foil in 5 knots, we can race in 6 knots. We've shown that the format works, the class is fast, the content's engaging. We've got something pretty special.
That can be seen at all levels of the sport. Alan McIntosh has been teaching windsurfing on Lake Pupuki in Auckland since 1994, and he's seen interest in the sport increase massively since the advent of windfoiling.
I guess in those 20 odd years you've seen a lot of development, a lot of changes in windsurfing.
Definitely done that, but the most exciting change is the foiling, for sure.
And you've got a little program that you run at the moment where from zero to foiling in 10 hours.
Yeah, so the first person that did that was a 53-year-old woman. She's a paddleboarder. She's never done any sailing or windsurfing, and she's just learning quickly because she can learn quickly to windsurf, and then she wanted to try to foil. So we stuck her on this big whiteboard over here, some big wings, big fuselages, and 10 hours of windsurfing in total, and she started flying the board. And then since that, we've actually had quite a few different people, a lot of yachty kids. Maybe one kid was like 7 hours and he could fly quite well, and another kid had only windsurfed 3 or 4 times and we actually got him flying.
And the youngest kid you've had learning to foil, what sort of age group are we looking at there?
At the moment it was my son Matthew. He started when he was 10, but I see that overseas there's people younger than that now. We just haven't done that yet. But yeah, that was when windfoiling, we'd only been teaching this for the last 2 years, and so that was 2 years ago, and I didn't really think about kids doing it at that point, and he just got up and could do it immediately.
Well, we found a young Hugo. How old are you?
12.
12-year-old, and you're out on a kite foil out in the middle of beautiful Manly. How does it feel to be out there foiling a kite?
Just a really cool flying sensation, and it's the future.
How long have you been actually kiting for?
5 years, but I just started foiling 1 year ago, and it's a lot cooler because you can get out in really light winds and just go 3 times wind speed. And
so you're a bit of an adrenaline junkie. You like the speed, eh?
Yeah.
The inclusion of windfoiling on the Olympic program for 2024 has given the sport a focus at the top end. It's prompted Yacht New Zealand, who run the Olympic sailing programs in the country, to set up a development squad made up of the most promising windfoilers. Most have switched over from the RSX, but others have returned to the sport after giving it away before windfoiling arrived on the scene. Vila Tenhav had originally aimed to get to the Olympics on the RSX, but has had to shift her focus, and it's something that she's embraced.
I've been windsurfing for 6 years, and I've been windfoiling for not even a year, probably like 6 months, and on the Olympic IQ class probably like 3 months now, maybe 4 just. And it's been amazing, yeah, for like all the windsurfing, but the foiling especially, it's a new kick, yeah.
Tenhav originates from Tauranga and often had to train and travel on her own, but the explosion of windfoiling means she really struggles to find someone to go sailing with, especially now she's a member of Yacht New Zealand's development squad for the top young windfoilers in the country.
Being part of the talent development squad it's really good because there's people to like always around in New Zealand, especially to like motivate you and on the water, and you kind of have to be there because otherwise you're missing out and everyone's getting better. And if you're overseas it was fine, but if you're in New Zealand you're by yourself, and it was just hard to stay motivated. I think that's the biggest thing, just having people around to push you to get better as well, yeah.
The development squad is currently coached by former Olympian JP Tobin, and it comes under the watch of Yacht New Zealand's high performance director Ian Stewart. Ultimately, it's Stewart's job to help put programs in place that have the potential to deliver Olympic medals, and the scene in New Zealand has him excited about what's possible.
Last year it was being talked about being an Olympic class, and now it is an Olympic class. And what we're excited about is that it is probably one of our biggest classes already. So we're lucky here in New Zealand. There's been a very capable class association put in place. There's amazing pathway to be seen already, and that's from the likes of here on the lake to have a go at club level, particularly at the likes of Wakateri and Manly, through to a development program we've put in place, which hopefully we advance to an Olympic program.
Windfoiling has seen a similar explosion internationally, and as many as 136 sailors competed at the recent IQ Foil European Championships in Switzerland. And that number would have been even higher had COVID-19 not impacted international travel so heavily. The goal for Stewart and everyone involved in the high performance program is to not only keep up to speed with the rest of the world, but to go faster, and that's made easier by the work being done across all levels.
Considering it's a brand new class, we're already seeing a clear pathway and participation from grassroots and to what we have as a development squad. And I think you look at that compared to our other Olympic classes, it's probably our biggest fleet, straight off the bat. It makes it easy to support and get behind. It's engage it at our youth level, at our Aon youth level, and get on with it. Because as I said, it's here and it's good fun.
The wind is not so great for our sound microphones, but great for racing, which is done in a number of formats, from short course and longer races, right through to slalom races. At the Windfoiling National Championships, there was short course and slalom racing.
So 5 seconds to go, and there is not much foiling apart from one guy way down on the pin. They're the only two that got going. I think that the race has been abandoned and we'll have to start all over again. Lloyd Parrott, so they've blown it off again. Lloyd Parrott led into the first mark, chased hard by Julian Savina, and then our current leader, Antonio. One leg, one dig beat. We go up to the gate, down to the pin line and straight into the finish. So it's only a one-leg race here on day 2, and it looks like everyone's doing some pretty serious pumping. 3, 2, and 1, and racing NZL 106. It's Maxi van der Zelm, got the pin end, and he is off. Gray Morris above him, and the man of the moment, Antonio Cozzolino, just above him. So we've got 6 boats all foiling this side. A little bunch in the middle couldn't get off the line. Pretty much most of the fleet foiling now, all heading out to the left-hand side where there is a little bit of breeze. Have a go how far some of these golf leaders have gone out. That's what you call banging the corners out there, baby. Ian Young first up around the top gate, showing these young whippersnippers how to do this light air foiling. Julian Savina, can he steal it off him? I think he's going to. Ian's only just worked it out now, and it's Julian Savina stole it off him. Ian Young, that's one way to lose a race. So we're here with a guy that should have won that race. You had probably a 100-metre lead. Then what happened?
Start line error. Finish line. I thought it was between the buoy and the boat below. So I was pumping down to that boat, and then I realised that it was actually at the start boat.
Well, it's, you know what they said, never finish before you can hear the big fat lady singing, so I just kept going, and
And yeah, you are.
Well, you've definitely stolen one there. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
Who is going to have bragging rights and be the slalom champion for the 2020 Giltrap Audi? And we are all lining up. Maxi, the Iceman, he has spat out of the gun. JP Tobin, NZL 151, is the 2020 Giltrap Audi Slalom champion. The Slalom Superstar Specialist, mate. You nailed 2 from 2. How was that?
Oh, mate, who knew? I don't know, mate. I just sent it and just make sure I was in front of the other guys.
Good fun racing?
Yeah, mate, but lots of doofy jibes. Young guys are going well, eh? But we're just managing to keep them behind us. A little bit of cunning involved, all the little tricks, but yeah, they're coming at us.
Charlie Solly, how are you?
I'm alright, thanks.
Mate, we just watched you join in with that last all-in little muck-around race with the Superstars, and I must say your start there was absolutely brilliant. What do you think of it all?
Oh yeah, it was a bit fluky. Had a great start though, yeah.
Hey, what do you think about that little format?
Yeah, I liked it. I like the slalom. So I prefer a lot of short distance, more sprinty sort of stuff.
And how long have you been windfoiling for?
About a year, so this time last year was my first regatta right here at Manly.
Well done, mate. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Well, what a day we've had here for day 2 of the 2020 Giltrap Audi Windfoil Nationals here in beautiful Manly, New Zealand. And the wind didn't play games early, but we end up getting a fleet race off and then some super sprint races. In the gold fleet, we've got still Antonio Cozzolino leading by 5 points from JP Tobin, who had 2 bullets in the sprint series, so he's had a good day. Julian Savina has also had a good day. He's up in the 3rd spot, and Max van der Zalm is in 4th. In the silver fleet, we still have Mr. Rigor Mortis, Timmy Wood, leading the fleet comfortably by 5 points to Gary Hill. Verl Ten Hab, she's had a great day out. She's up in the 3rd.
Unfortunately, the wind that had been on the light side for the whole regatta died away completely on the 3rd and final day, which meant no racing was possible. That meant at the end of the racing, Antonio Cozzolino was on top of the standings, finishing ahead of JP Tobin and Julian Davina to be crowned the Windfoiling National Champion. The future of windfoiling is exciting. It's already taken off in terms of appeal, with people of all ages participating in the sport. And it's also an opportunity for New Zealand to once again rise to the top of the windsurfing world. The foiling revolution is here, and it's fast.